The highest paying remote jobs? Listen, they are not the ones that you think. They are boring, they are repetitive, and guess what? Nobody talks about them. And that's what I like about them. But these jobs will put your bank account on life support in the most positive way, of course. Here's another thing. Some of these jobs are so underrated. I'm talking low key, that the companies hire fast from them. So once I break them down, you want to get to it fast. And the best part, you don't need a degree, and you certainly do not need experience for most of them. All you need is a willingness to do the type of job that most people would rather not do, so that you can make the type of money that most people would rather not make. Well, they wish they could make it, but you know what? They're not willing to do the work, so you're gonna make the money instead. So today I'm exposing 16 high-paying remote jobs that nobody ever talks about. And trust me, by the end of this video, you might just find your next six-figure career path. So before we dive in, I want you to drop a comment below as you watch the video and let me know which of these jobs would you actually do. And if there's a specific one that most of you talk about, I want to do a deep dive on that specific job. Let's dive in. So the very first one on my list is one that is not fun. In fact, this is not one that I want to do, but listen, guys, it's for somebody out there and it pays so friggin' well. This is a funeral sales specialist. Now, why is it boring? It's boring, well, because you're selling funeral packages and nobody really wants to talk about death, but it pays, guys, it pays so much money. Now, according to my stats, it pays around $54,000 with commissions pushing up to 86K per year. And in fact, if you have a look at this screen, I just did some research and there's a recruiting company right now that's paying up to $110,000 for funeral sales jobs. This is the same in the UK, by the way, and in other parts of the world. I'm just using dollars because it's a little bit more universal. So you can see that it pays a lot of money, and this is your six-figure job right there. So why is it always hiring? It's always hiring because, guys, being a funeral sales specialist is recession proof. Why? Because just like people are always being born, sadly people are always dying. Now, here are some skills that you need for this. You need empathy, you need sales skills, communication, organization, and of course, emotional resilience. If you're going to be working with people who are brokenhearted, you need to know how to hold your own. You see, so that's that for funeral sales specialist. So welcome to my channel. If it is your first time joining here, I'm Pam Obasa, and I am the founder of the Wake to Wealth movement and the brand The Lucrative Lady. Now, what we do on this channel is that I teach you how to wake up wealthier every single day. And in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through one of those strategies, and that is by working remotely. So if you are returning, welcome back to my channel. It's always good to see you. Do me a favor, guys. One of the things that I ask for always is we are blessed to be a blessing. Please go ahead and share this video. You just never know who you share it with, and you might be their destiny helper who actually shared something that changed their life. So if you found this content useful, please go ahead and hit that share button. So let me keep going. The next one I'm gonna be talking about is so friggin' boring, but again, it pays so well. Now, this is being a user manual writer. Now, what is your job here? Well, your job is writing those instruction manuals that nobody reads. Yep, those instruction manuals where you buy some sort of tech or some sort of appliance for your kitchen and you get these big, massive books with very tiny writing that nobody's going to read. Yep, that's going to be your job. But it pays so well. And it pays anywhere, guys, from $47,000 per year and goes up to 76K per year. Now, it's always hiring because tech companies need clear communication. Otherwise, they're in a hot water. They're going to be in trouble. So they need to communicate. So what skills do you need? Well, you need technical skills. You need attention to detail. You need research skills. You need clarity in communication, and you need to be able to edit. Now, anybody can do this job. The next one that, listen, anybody can do is called Statistics Validator. Now, this is hecka boring. Why? Because what you do is you check numbers and research data to make sure that the companies aren't lying. Imagine that. So you're the one who makes sure that companies are upright, upstanding, and have integrity. So it's a pretty important job. It's boring as hell, but it's important, and it pays pretty good too. It pays, from my research, between 40K to 65K plus bonuses. Now, it's always hiring because companies need accurate stats to avoid lawsuits. So they're always going to be hiring you if this is your job. Now, Here are the skills that you need for this job. You need analytical thinking, statistical knowledge, attention to detail, problem solving, and data verification. These are the skills that you need. Now, the next one I want to talk about is one that a lot of you know about, and this is WordPress support technician. But it's boring because, well, you're fixing broken websites all day long. So you're sitting at the computer, which can give you a dead leg, which can ruin your posture, and it's boring as heck, but it pays really well. Now, entry level for this job is $42,000, and if you're a little bit more experienced, you can earn $63,000 and above. Now, why is it always hiring? This is a good one, guys. Lucrative trends, because 43% of the internet runs on WordPress. So guess what? They're always going to need to hire you if this is your job. Now, what skills do you need? If you know WordPress, then that's the number one skill that you need. You just need WordPress knowledge. You need knowledge about the HTML and CSS. You need to know how to troubleshoot. You need to be good at customer service, and you need to know how to manage various plugins, which are so easy to do. I mean, you can learn this stuff on YouTube, for goodness sake, and land yourself a big massive job. Listen, let me just say this. When you start getting these big massive jobs, come over here and make sure you give me some love in the comments, okay? Let me move forward. The next one that I want to talk about is hella boring. Why? Because your job really involves organizing internal company process into guides. Now, this is stuff that ChatGPT can do for you. But guess what? This one pays a whopping $69,000 to $125,000 per year for organizing documents. Now, what is the job title? The job title is documentation writer. I mean, come on. Now, they are always hiring because every company needs a structured process. Every company. So what skills do you need? You need writing and editing skills. ChatGPT can do that for you. You need organization skills. You need to be good at interviewing, of course. You need to be able to do process mapping, and you need some technical knowledge for this. One of the biggest questions I get asked all the time, guys, is, Pam, how do you make money from home? Like, what is, do you do all of these strategies? To be honest with you, when I first started, yes, I did all of these things that I share with you, and they still work till today. However, there's a specific way that I actually make money online, and I have created a newsletter called Wake to Wealth, where I have listed the strategy and broken it down into activities you can do every single day that will allow you to wake up wealthier. Now, I want to get this into your hand, and so here is what you have to do to get access to this newsletter. What you have to do is use the QR code on the screen right now, or you can also check out the link below this video and in the pinned comment for the Wake to Wealth movement. You simply sign up with your name and email, and voila, you get onto the list, and every single day we send you these strategies at no cost, absolutely free of charge. You definitely want to be part of this. We have around 13,000 people in this movement already. You want to be part of them. So make sure you get onto that QR code on the screen right now, or in the link in the description for the Wake to Wealth movement, or just go to waketowealth.com and get started with that. The next one I want to talk about is database administrator. Now, it's a little bit boring for some people because you're managing company databases and keeping their company running, essentially. However, do you know what isn't boring? Do you know what is not boring? How much it pays. Now, this one pays up to 121,000 plus. This is a six-figure job, guys. Now, it is always hiring because data is the new oil. It really is. All right. Data is the new oil. Now, what skills do you need? The skills you need are SQL knowledge, data security, problem solving, attention to detail, backup and recovery planning. Again, this is all stuff that you can pick up online on YouTube. Learn it and go get yourself a six-figure job. Let's move on to the next one. Now, this next one pays between $95,000 up to $152,000. So again, another six-figure gig. Now, the role is being an actuarial analyst. Now, those are some very big words, but in plain English, what you're doing is you are analyzing the risk for insurance companies. Now, it's always hiring because risk management is essential in finance. Otherwise, their bottoms will be in hot water. Now, what are some skills that you need for this? You need probability and statistics. You also need some financial modeling, some risk assessment, Excel proficiency, and analytical thinking. So if you are a numbers guy or gal, this might be your gig. Now let's talk about lead management coordinator. This is another gig that pays amazingly well. Now, what is it? Essentially, what you're doing with this job is that you are tracking and organizing sales leads all day long, but it pays really well. It sounds hella boring, but it pays extremely well. Now, this pays between $54,000 to $83,000 plus commissions. Now, it's always hiring because companies need organized sales systems. Now, what skills do you need? These skills are so simple, guys. You need a CRM software, you need organization skills, you need data entry skills, communication skills, and of course, sales tracking. If you are a data nerd, you're going to love this specific one, because in this job, what you're basically doing is you are categorizing and labeling massive amounts of company data. Now, it sounds hella boring and something that nobody wants to do, but if you love having nice things and you want a job that pays you big bucks, then this might be the one for you, because it pays anywhere between $77,000 to $139,000 annually. Now, this job role is called a data taxonomy specialist. Now, it's always hiring because big companies need data to be searchable. So imagine you have all these big companies, and they have all this data. They need to be able to find things very quickly. Now, in order for them to find it very quickly, somebody has to organize and categorize all of that data. So here are some skills that you need for this. You need data organization skills, metadata management, information structuring, research, and analytical thinking. Now, let me tell you about this next one. With all the rage of AI, there's a new job role called AI prompt engineer. And if you love AI, if you love spending hours, on your computer, you're going to love this one, because this job is hella boring, because it involves spending hours refining text prompts to train AI models, but it pays so well. It pays anywhere between $80,000 to $130,000 plus per year due to the growing AI industry. Now, why is it always hiring? Well, it's always hiring because AI companies need constant improvement in AI responses to stay ahead of the game. So what skills do you need for this? Well, you need AI and machine learning skills, writing and editing skills, analytical thinking skills, programming knowledge, and of course, some creativity. The next one is called Online Reputation Manager. Now, this one pays between $55,000 to $90,000 per year, since brands care about their image. Now, what it involves is you monitoring and responding to online reviews and brand mentions all day long. Now, it's always hiring because businesses need to protect their brand from bad PR and negative press. Now, what skills do you need for this specific role? You need digital marketing skills, crisis management skills, social media monitoring skills, communication skills, and SEO awareness skills for this. Now let's dive into the next one. The next one is called a data privacy consultant. Big words. Boring. It's boring because all you're doing is auditing and enforcing company-wide data security policies, but it pays really, really well, between $85,000 and $140,000 plus, due to strict privacy laws. Now, why is it always hiring? Well, it's always hiring because new data regulations mean that companies always need expert advice. Now, the skill set you need for this are cybersecurity, legal compliance, risk management, data auditing, and attention to detail. Yes. The next one is a transcription editor. Now, this one pays between $50,000 to $75,000 per year because demand for captions and transcripts have grown. Now, what's involved in this specific role is that you proofread and correct the errors in transcribed text. So it's always hiring because videos are always being produced, podcasts are always being produced. And so content is booming. And so therefore, there's an increased need for transcription and accurate transcription. So what are the skills you need? You need listening skills, grammar and editing skills. You need to be a fast typer. You also need accuracy and of course, good time management. Next is e-commerce fraud analyst. Now, this job involves you spending hours reviewing transactions, looking for patterns of fraud, and most of the time everything is normal, so you're just staring at data all day long. Now, the job involves you analyzing online transactions to detect fraudulent activity, and this includes reviewing chargebacks and monitoring suspicious patterns or investing fraud claims and ensuring that compliance with fraud prevention laws are in place. Now, for this heck a boring job, it pays very, very well, between 60,000 to 95,000 plus. Why? Because fraud is $1 billion problem and companies lose millions to it every single year. So stopping fraud saves businesses tons of money, which means that they'll pay well for the right person. So why is it always hiring? Well, it's always hiring because fraud is increasing, which means that companies need constant fraud detection. So therefore, the demand for a skilled fraud analyst becomes increasingly growing. Now, the skills that you need are fraud detection, data analysis, investigative skills, attention to detail, and pattern recognition. So if you're good at any of those, then this might be your gig. Next, I want to talk about remote compliance officer. Now, what do you do with this job? Well, you review endless company policies, legal documents to ensure compliance. So there's lots of legal jargon, but zero excitement. So what your job role is essentially you are ensuring that businesses follow industry regulations. This includes reviewing their contracts, monitoring their business activity for compliance risks, and updating their company policies and ensuring ethical business practices. So it pays between 75,000 to 120,000 plus because companies cannot afford legal violations. Non-compliance can lead to massive fines, so businesses pay well to stay compliant. So it's always hiring because laws and regulations change regularly, and companies need compliance officers on a regular, ongoing basis to keep up with the evolving rules and avoid penalties. So here are the skills that you need for this one: regulatory knowledge, risk management, documentation, legal compliance, and ethical judgment. So the one I want to talk about now is called a digital risk assessor. Now, what do you do with this? Well, your job here is analyzing risks that could harm a company's digital presence, looking at security threats such as data breaches and online reputation issues. It involves lots of reports and minimal action, guys, so it is boring. What you're doing essentially is you are evaluating potential threats to a company's digital assets. So this includes cybersecurity risk assessments and monitoring online vulnerabilities and testing data protection measures and ensuring compliance with digital safety regulations. And it pays so well, guys. Boring, but pays well. We like boring. It pays between 70,000 to 110,000 plus because businesses need to prevent costly cyber attacks and reputation damage. A single data breach can cost millions to a company. So companies pay top dollar for this prevention. And it's always hiring because cybersecurity risks are at an all-time high. With new data protection laws in place, increasing online threats, companies need risk assessments 24/7 to avoid cyber disasters. Now, what skills do you need for this? So lucrative friends, you need cybersecurity skills and risk analysis skills and threat detection skills, data protection skills, and critical thinking skills. If you love it, let me know that you loved it. Show me some love in the comments. So there's a few things I want to hear from you in the comments. One, if you would like to hear about work from home opportunities from me, let me know in the comments. Use the words work from home. If I get over 200 comments about that, I will share even more videos. The second thing I want to remind you about is to invite you to join this Wake to Wealth movement. It is an opportunity for you to hear from me every single day where I teach you one strategy daily, very easy to execute. And if you do the work, you will be able to wake up with more money in your account every single day. So you wake up wealthier daily. To get started with that, all you have to do is jump on the QR code. It is absolutely free. There's nothing to pay. Just use the QR code on the screen, or check out the link below this video and get involved in the Wake movement. We have around about 13,000 people or so already on our list because of this movement. So do not go anywhere until you've done that. If you found this helpful, one last ask I have for you is just go ahead and share it. We are blessed to be a blessing. You just never know whose world you might change because you shared this video with them. So go ahead, like and subscribe to this channel and share this video and let me know in the comments that you shared it. I tend to respond to messages when they are posted within the first hour to two of the video dropping. So make sure you are the first to comment so that I can give you some high fives and of course support you further. Love you guys. Before you go, make sure you check out this video.